the third presenters and we're going to present the Tourism Development Plan of Palawan.
In this presentation, we will be able to talk about the Summarization of Palawan Tourism Development Plan,
the tourism policies in the area,
Top 10 destinations,
and sustainable tourism practices,
major environmental problems occurred,
the group advocacy, and the marketing strategy.
tourism has to be sustainable. Sustainable means paano natin siya mapapanatili or mapapakinabangan. Thus, the context of the principle of sustainable tourism as economically viable. Economically viable is yung nababagay or yung napapanahon sa ngayon. Environmentally sound, which means like eco-friendly. Cultural appropriate, kung ano ang nakasanayan like behavior, culture, and etc. And socially is kung paano makikisalamuha or makikibagay sa mga tao. Just, humane, and gender equitable that promotes growth is substantial in this tourism development plan.
Summarization of Palawan Tourism Development Plan. The Palawan Sustainable Development or Palawan Agenda 2016 to 2030 envisions a good and dignified life enjoyed by Palawan through the pursuit of an ecologically balanced and biodiversity-centered economic development supported by green jobs and sustainable energy. Its implementation relies on the Palawan Sustainable Development Strategy and Action Plan and the Palawan Research and Sustainable Development Agenda. It has 4 components to attain its vision. The number 1 is the environmental ecological stability and continuous formation of natural capital. So, ito yung pangangalaga sa environment at pag-maintain sa kaayusan at pagkakaroon ng tuloy-tuloy na improvement para sa kagandahan ng Palawan. The number 2 is economic wealth created and equitably distributed. So, dahil nga sa marami nagpupuntang tourist doon, nagkakaroon sila ng earnings or income na dapat yung income nila na yon is nadidistribute siya ng fair or napupunta siya sa tama. Or sa mga lugar pa na nangangailangan ng budget para magkaroon sila ng development. Number 3, social and cultural capital protected, develop, and enhance. So, yung Palawan kasi is meron silang pinangangalagaan na culture, which is pinapreserve nila ito like yung arts and historical places. At pinaprotektahan nila ito, yung mga environment at pati na rin yung mga tourist na nagpupunta doon. At iniiwasan talaga nila na mawala yung culture na yun. Number 4, right-based governance in place to facilitate sustainable development. So, yung government kasi, sila talaga yung may pinakamataas sa posisyon at nakakaalam ng mga buong pangyayari sa isang buong lugar na yon. So, dapat, kapag mag-i-implement sila ng mga decisions, dapat nakaplan yon at para maging ready sila. So, dapat alam nila yung mga dapat gawin at hindi. Dapat alam din nila yung mga lugar na dapat i-improve para ma-facilitate yung development.
And now we're going to talk about the Palawan tourism policies in the area. The identification of high impact, critical, sustainable, and green courses of action, such as the policies, plans, programs, projects, and activities in every plan or team will be guided by the following principles of Palawan Green Economy. So we have the 7 features of the Palawan Green Economy. Number 1 is the ecological viability. The physical and biological cycles that maintain the productivity of the natural ecosystems must always be kept intact. Ibig sabihin lamang nito, yung mga natural ecosystem na mayroong mga biological cycles o yung mga natural na nangyayari kung paano tayo nakakapag-produce ay kailangan na ganun pa rin ang cycles nila. Dapat i-kept intact. Number 2 is the social acceptability. The people should be fully committed to support sustainable development activities. We all know na ang tao ang nangangalaga sa mga natural resources, so dapat alam natin, responsible tayo at accepted natin at committed tayo na tayo ang mangangalaga ng ating mga natural resources. Number 3 is the integrated approach. The problems and issues obtaining in the environment must be viewed in a holistic manner. Ibig sabihin nito, kailangan muna nating malaman as a whole kung ano nga ba ang problema, ano mga issue para mabigyan natin to ng isang magandang approach. Number 4 is the good governance. Good governance means ethical decision-making, and the judicious use of the power by the state, civil society, and private sector to determine the access, use, and management of resources and the distribution of their benefits. Ibig sabihin lamang nito na dapat ang mga tao na naka-assign dito, sa bawat gagawin nilang desisyon ay dapat akma para sa ikagagandaan ng tourism development. At dapat ang paggamit nilang kanilang power ay para sa ikaka-benefit ng lahat. Number 5 is the rights-based approach. Conservation and development must respect, protect, and fulfill socio-economic and cultural rights of people, especially of the marginalized and vulnerable sectors of the society. Tulad nga na nabanggit natin kanina, lahat dapat ng mga nagiging desisyon, lahat ng magiging approach sa bawat isa na nakapaloob dun sa development plan na iyon ay pantay-pantay. Dapat din ay meron tayong respeto kung ano mga existing na culture doon at alam din dapat natin kung paano tayo mag-protect at mag-fulfill ng socio-economic and cultural rights of the people. Number 6 is risk resilience. There is a need to pursue proactive initiatives, processes, mechanisms, and pathways that decrease vulnerability to climate change impacts, geological hazards, severe weather, and other geo-environmental risk. Ibig sabihin lamang nito ay kung ano man ang pwedeng dumaan na kalamidad, dapat ay ready tayo. At kung tamaan man tayo noon, alam dapat natin ang mga gagawin nating actions. And last but not the least is the economic soundness. A competitive and sound green economy pursues sustainable levels of consumptions and production and efficiency in resource use and production. Ibig sabihin lamang nito ay kung ano man ang mga dapat nating gawin na plano, ano ang mga dapat gawin nating approach ay makapag-pursue siya ng sustainable level of consumption and production. Ibig sabihin nun, kung ano yung kinoconsume dapat natin ay dapat pantay lang din sa pinoproduce natin para magkaroon tayo ng competitive and sound green economy.
These are the top 10 Palawan destinations. Palawan is home to the Philippines' most spectacular seascapes and island views. Alam naman po natin na ang Palawan ay isa sa may mga pinakamagagandang islands, landscape, and island views dito sa Pilipinas. Palawan is big. It is its own archipelago composed of roughly 1,780 islands and islets. It isn't so overwhelmingly massive that you cannot see a lot in one trip. But getting between places takes a while, especially if you are hopping from one island to next. What are the best Palawan tourist spots and offbeat destinations? Let's check these scenic places perfect for epic itinerary in the Philippines. Ang una po dito ay ang El Nido. You will find dramatic overwater scenery in El Nido, located in the northernmost tip of mainland Palawan. This place is not just about pretty sandy beaches and mesmerizing waters. Its islands are filled with towering karst mountains that serve as the perfect backdrop for adventures in this tropical paradise. Magagawa po natin dito sa El Nido ay we could go island hopping around Bakwit Bay Islands, explore inland El Nido, take a sunset stroll along Korong-Korong and Merimegmeg beaches, and we can try the bird's nest soup. Second is Puerto Princesa. Puerto Princesa is the capital and major flight getaway in Palawan, especially popular among El Nido-bound tourists. Stay for a few days to explore beautiful spots around the city. Starts with a trip to Puerto Princesa Underground River, the longest navigable underground river in the world, listed as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO and New Seven Wonders of Nature. Then, spend a day beach bombing and snorkeling on an island hopping tour around Honda Bay. Island hopping tour in Honda Bay, spelunking and ziplining at Ugong Rock, see the fireflies and mangrove forest at Iwahig, go dolphin watching, and trek to the waterfalls in Puerto Princesa.
Coron, Palawan, and Calamian Island. In contrast to El Nido amazing overwater views, to go Coron to see stunning underwater views. Here you can see colorful gardens and pristine waters and lots of marine life and even sunken World War II Japanese shipwreck. Coron can hold its own when it comes to scenic view over the water as well. This paradise is home to hidden lakes and lagoons blessed with emerald bluish waters and many fine white sandbits. Ito nga po yung mga pwede pong activities na pwedeng gawin sa Coron, Calamian Island. Pwede po tayo rito mag-wreck diving, snorkeling, and also to see enchanting lake and lagoons and experience to safari in Calawit Island. Linapakan Island. Enjoy an adventure in Linapakan if you want to go off the grid and see the undiscovered beauty of Palawan. This group of islands can be found spread across the water between El Nido and Coron. Linapakan had become viral when it was mentioned in the list of places with the clearest waters in the world to swim before you die. So yun nga po, matatagpuan po ang Linapakan Island between po sa El Nido and Coron.
Next destination is Taytay. Taytay can be found just south of El Nido, Palawan. On your way to or from Puerto Princesa, stop over the town proper and visit the Taytay Fort or Fuerza de Santa Isabel. So, kapag nanggaling ka or nagpunta ka ng Palawan, hindi pwedeng hindi mo bibisitahin ang Taytay Fort or yung Fuerza de Santa Isabel. One of the best preserved Spanish colonial stone fortress remaining in the Philippines. So, sinasabi dito na ito rin isa sa pinakamatagal at isa sa pinaka-iniingat-ingatan at nananatili ito sa Pilipinas. Extend your trip on a tour to Taytay's many offshore islands that are still largely unspoiled and undiscovered by mass tourism. Next one is San Vicente Long Beach. San Vicente is another town that you can visit on your way between Puerto Princesa and El Nido in mainland Palawan. This sleepy town is home to Long Beach. At 14 kilometers long, it had been making rounds online for being the longest white sand beach in the Philippines. To compare, San Vicente, Long Beach, even at 8 kilometers, is twice long as Boracay's famed white beach. Number 7. Port Barton. Port Barton is another spot to travel in the town of San Vicente. This quiet village is smaller and more laid-back version of El Nido. It is not popular among budget backpackers and travelers who want to experience the relaxed, rural atmosphere of the Philippines. Here, you can go about and explore many pristine offshore islands and beaches on island hopping tours at a cheaper price that both tours offered in El Nido.
Welcome to Kuya Island. The tagline is, go even more upgrade in Kuya. Meaning to say, okay pumunta dito kahit hindi pa ito gaano kasikat at na-explore ng karamihan. And of course, Kuya Island is located in the vast open waters of Sulu Sea. It is between the island Palawan and Panay, and it became the province's second capital after Taytay during 80s. And also, you can find the well-preserved Cuyo Fortress Church built during the Spanish colonial era. If you are looking for the ultimate luxury retreat here in Palawan, say hello to the Amanpoulo Resort. Amanpoulo is the one of the expensive holiday destination up to now. It is a private island resort here in Pamalican Island. It is described as exquisitely designed beach front, treetop or hillside casitas with gorgeous views of turquoise water and powdery white sand beach. Or meaning to say, ito ay isang napakaganda at kahali-hali ng resort na talaga namang makakapag-relax ka. Kaya ano pang hinihintay? Let's go to Amanpoulo Resort. The last and final destination here in Palawan is the Tubbataha Island. If you are certified diver, let's go to Tubbataha Island. Another one remote spot here in Palawan is the Tubbataha Reef. It is measured 970 square kilometer national park. It is also one of the highest diversity of marine life in the Philippines and in the world. Along with the Puerto Princesa Underground River, the Tubbataha Reef is known as one of the UNESCO World Heritage Site in the Philippines. Kaya't ano pang hinihintay natin? Let's go to Palawan!
Next topic is sustainable tourism practices in Palawan. While have many heard of the island of Palawan, simply describing it is beautiful does not hold a candle to what the island has accomplished over the last half-decade. The three-time winner of Travel plus Leisure World's Best Island Awards since 2013, 2016, and 2017 has more than earned its place as one of the country's top vacation destinations. However, as travel demand continues to rise, the Philippines' last ecological frontier is endangered from irresponsible tourism practices. So, ibig sabihin lang nito, hindi naman ibig sabihin na alam ng karamihan na maganda lamang yung Palawan dahil sa kanyang tanawin. Marami rin nakakaalam na meron din itong positive at negative na nangyari. Then, here are the 5 ways to contribute to a larger ecotourism movement with a little cost to your own pockets. Number 1 is stay at an eco-friendly hotel or resort. Aside from air travel, one of the biggest contributors to your vacation carbon footprint is your hotel accommodation. Focus on environmental advocacies that you are most passionate about and find a hotel resort in Puerto Princesa that operates in line with your views. Astoria Palawan prides on being one of Palawan's greenest and most eco-friendly resorts, promoting renewable energy and efficient waste management. So, ibig sabihin lang nito, tayo as example of a tourist. Siyempre, hindi naman tayo pumipili ng resort or hotel na pag-iistayan natin kung hindi siya malinis at hindi siya eco-friendly. Siyempre, para sa atin, pipili tayo kung ano ba yung nararapat sa budget natin or kung ano ba yung saan tayo magiging ligtas. Number 2, support local conservation efforts. Book your island tours with companies that follow the best environmental practices. Support your organization that represent your environmental advocacy. Not only will you be reducing your carbon footprint, but you will also be contributing to strengthening the local community who knows best how to care for their natural resources. So dito naman, ibig sabihin lang nito ay meron siyang kaugnayan doon sa nauna, which is yung stay at eco-friendly hotel or resort. Siyempre, for example, single tourist ka. Siyempre, doon ka sa agency na magpapabook na kung saan nagkakaroon sila ng environmental practices para makatulong ka rin doon sa environment.
Number 3. Travel light. The heavier a plane, bus, train, is the more fuel it burns. Increasing your carbon footprint, take only what you need and pack light. Bring reusable bag, clothes, bottles, etc. Go for digital copy of your favorite books and option for clothes that are light and could be layered for different looks. Keep in mind that the less you bring with you, the less you pay for luggage fees too. Ito yung kapag mag-travel ka, mas okay yung mga dadalhin mo lang is yung essential things. At para makabawas ka na rin sa bigat ng sasakyan. So, less hassle din to kasi syempre, kapag madami kang dalang luggage, ikaw mismo sa sarili mo, mahihirapan kang magbitbit. Minsan kasi kapag sobra tayong na-excite sa pagpapack or sa pagpunta ng travel, marami tayong nadadala, hindi naman natin kailangan. So, mas better kung organize yung gamit mo and yung mga essential things lang talaga yung dadalhin mo. So, as much as possible, makatulong ka na hindi ka makabigat sa isang sasakyan. So, travel light lang dapat. Number 4. Choose public transportation. Renting your own private car may seem like a tempting option, but if you are committed to helping preserve the environment, public transportation is the way to go. Travel time may take longer than usual. Seats cramped and uncomfortable, but that's a small sacrifice to make for Mother Earth. So, ibig sabihin lang na to, yes, sabi nga, mas komportable talaga kung own car yung gagamitin mo sa pagka-travel mo. But if you choose public transportation, isipin mo, mas makakatulong ka sa pag-reduce ng air pollution and sa pag-reduce ng traffic. Number 5. Buy local products. Source locally as much as possible. Eat at local restaurants that offer organic produce and other environmentally sustainable food products. Purchase native souvenirs, those that don't require destroying natural resources, made by the local craftsmen. Supporting resident merchants goes a long way in bolstering local trade and cutting down on your own travel footprint. So, sabi nga nila, support local. As much as possible, mas okay kung tatangkilikin mo yung mga local products. At dahil makakatulong ka rin sa pag-grow ng economic. And syempre, mas kilala mo yung mga product na binibili mo. At alam mo kung saan sila nanggagaling. And when you buy local products, you are supporting the small business. At makakatulong ka din sa mga businessman na nagbebenta ng local products dahil sa iyo, nagkakaroon sila ng mas maraming income.
Major environmental problems occurred. Contentious environmental destruction issues. 3 most contentious issues in Palawan today seem to have ended not on the side of environmental protection. Ang issues na tinatakil sa Palawan ay hindi lamang iikot sa environment, and this includes the removal of 5 protected areas in the coverage of the expanded National Integrated Protected Areas System. The second one is the co-management agreement between the provincial government and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR. And the last one is the division of Palawan into 3 provinces. President Rodrigo Duterte has signed the law dividing Palawan into 3 provinces. Republic Act number 11259, signed on April 5 and released about a week later, divides Palawan into the provinces of Palawan del Norte, Palawan Oriental, and Palawan del Sur, with the latter as a mother province. Kaya ko nasabi ang article na ito dahil ang pagkakahati-hati ng probinsya ay magkakaroon ng epekto sa nasabing probinsya. Palawan is experiencing massive environmental destruction. Number 1 is the deforestation. Deforestation in the southern part of the province results from bark tanning, in which bark harvested of mangroves is used to tan leather. Forest destruction is wrought not only by residents of Palawan, but also by those from neighboring islands. Ang pagkaubos ng mga puno ay maaaring pagkakaroon ng climate change, desertification, soil erosion, fewer crops, pagbaha, pagtaas ng greenhouse gases sa ating atmosphere, and a host of problems for indigenous people.
Another environmental major problems are illegal logging, kaingin, slash and burn clearing, illegal land conversion, and charcoal production. Alam naman natin na ang illegal logging ay ang pagpuputol ng puno ng walang permiso upang gawing uling at ibenta para sila ay magkaroon ng kita. And it's also common here in northern Palawan. Another is mining and quarrying. Mining contributes to deforestation, but it is not the primary culprit. However, while it brings jobs to some residents, unsustainable mining practices may lead to destruction of natural resources. Meaning to say, ang pagmimina ay nagbibigay ng contribution sa deforestation, pero habang nagbibigay ito ng trabaho sa ibang mga residente, ang mga di magandang nakagawian sa pagmimina ay nakakaapekto sa pagkasira ng ating natural resources. The last major environmental problem is slash and burn agriculture. Are still being cut down and burned to clear land for farming, ranching, and road building. Slash and burn contributes to climate change by releasing all the carbon that the forest trees have absorbed over their lifetimes. Slash and burn, ito ay ang pagpuputol at pagsusunog ng puno sa kalupaan para lamang makapagpatayo ng mga infrastructures, building na nagiging dahilan sa pagbabago ng panahon dahil nababawasan na din ang pag-release from the forest trees.
And okay, here's the last part of our report and Group Advocacy and Marketing Strategy for Palawan. Dito sa part na ito ay may explain namin ang mga advocacy na gusto namin magawa or kung paano makikilala ang Palawan. And number 1 is saving trees and also cultural heritage. We believe that the struggle to save Palawan has to do not now with saving trees and rare species. More importantly, it is about nourishing the Filipino cultural heritage and traditional knowledge, so powerful represented in the living practices of our indigenous communities that are still struggling against mining and agribusiness of controlling people. Unang-una po ay kailangan po natin pangalagaan ang ating mga puno at kailangan din po natin tulungan yung mga organization na labanan ang mga nagmimina or nag-agribusiness of controlling people. We wish to enlighten and inspire all people to understand that forests are not just places being inhabited by rare species, but they are actually the cradle of our indigenous cultures. Until this simple concept is understood, forests will continue to be regarded as a place of nature separated from culture. In short term po, need po natin pahalagahan ang ating forest, hindi lang isang place or tirahan, dahil dito rin natin makikita ang kanilang mga kultura.
Crime against nature and culture. From our perspective, environmental plundering by mining and agribusiness firms is not only a crime against nature but also a crime against culture, a sort of killing that defeats the most profound roots of our Filipino history and ultimately steals the cultural heritage of the whole nation. The beauty and uniqueness of our nature cultures and the brilliance of our environment are two sides of the same coin. They are intimately linked to one another. They are inseparable. Kaya namin nasama itong crime against nature and culture. Gusto lang namin din na ma-enlighten ang bawat isa na ang nature at ang culture ay magkarugtong. Ibig sabihin nito, kapag pinangalagaan natin ang ating culture, pinalagaan na rin natin ang ating nature. For example, sa mining. We all know that Philippines is also known for kung ano yung makukuha natin sa mining. At kapag nasobrahan tayo sa pagmimina ay talagang naapektuhan na rin ang ating nature as well as yung ating heritage. So, kailangan din nating i-limit kung ano yung mga nakukuha natin sa natural resources at as much as possible ay kung kailangan ay mapalitan ito. And last but not the least is know where, when, at how to start. Palawan is truly blessed with such amazing spots and going back to basic studies truly helps what possible strategies to uplift and develop the said area. Ibig sabihin lamang po ng aming strategy na ito ay alamin muna natin kung saan tayo dapat magsimula, ano ang dapat gawin, kailan at saan. Right after, budget is a must to start such actions. Siyempre, kapag gusto natin na meron tayong mapabago sa isang lugar, pinaka-importante, ikaw man yung host community doon, ikaw man yung ninirahan doon, alam mo sa sarili mo na kaya mong pangalagaan yon, and as a tourist, alam mo na kaya mong alagaan. Once na pumunta ka doon, kaya mong irespeto kung ano yung mga andon at kaya mo ring tumulong kung anong mga environmental practices yung mga ginagawa nila to preserve the nature and culture. 2 words, responsible and accountable. Alam natin sa sarili natin that we are responsible enough, we are accountable enough kung ano ang mga ginagawa natin, and then we can help the environment to uplift the sustainable tourism, most especially to the Palawan.
Thank you for watching! Bye!